The Bee Gees were a famous musical group consisting of three brothers, Barry Gibb and twins Maurice and Robin Gibb. Their career spanned several decades, from the late 1950s to the 2000s. They became one of the most influential and successful pop groups in the world, renowned for their contributions to the disco era and their unique harmonies. Early life and formation. Barry Gibb was born on September 1, 1946, in Douglas, Isle of Man. Robin Gibb was born on December 22, 1949, in Redcliffe, Queensland, Australia. Maurice Gibb was born on December 22, 1949, in Redcliffe, Queensland, Australia, just minutes after Robin. The Gibb family moved to Australia when the brothers were young. The three brothers formed their first band in 1958, initially calling themselves the Bee Gees, a name that came from their initials, B, for Barry, and G, for Gibb. They began performing locally before moving to England in 1967. Early career, 1960s. In the early part of their career, the Bee Gees gained success in Australia and later in the UK, initially achieving recognition for their melodic pop tunes. Their first major hit was Spicks and Specks, 1966, which reached number 1 in Australia. By 1967, they moved to England and recorded more music, but it was their 1967 album Bee Gees 1st that began to establish them as international stars, especially with the hit single, New York Mining Disaster 1941. The Bee Gees were often compared to the Beatles due to their rich harmonies and melodic style. Transition and success. In the 1970s, the Bee Gees' music underwent a significant transformation in the 1970s. They began to embrace disco and more dance-oriented music, which would become their signature sound. Their partnership with producer Arif Mardin led to their album Main Course, 1975, which included the hit single, Jive Talkin'. This marked a shift toward their disco-era style, and soon after, the Bee Gees released some of their most iconic work. Their biggest breakthrough came in 1977 with the release of the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. The album, which featured several Bee Gees songs, became a worldwide sensation, thanks to songs like Stayin' Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, Night Fever, and More Than a Woman. The soundtrack helped propel the Bee Gees to global superstardom and firmly associated them with the disco movement. During the late 1970s, the Bee Gees' popularity was at its peak. They were the face of disco music, and their harmonies became instantly recognizable. The success of Saturday Night Fever helped them win multiple awards and cemented their place in pop history. 1980s, shift in sound and challenges. After the disco era waned in the early 1980s, the Bee Gees faced a challenging time, as the public turned away from disco. They adapted by evolving their sound to fit the more mainstream pop landscape, though they continued to have hits throughout the decade. In 1981, they released Living Eyes, which had moderate success, but the brothers went through some personal and professional challenges. The Bee Gees began to focus on writing and producing music for other artists, contributing to hits like Islands in the Stream, 1983, performed by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Their work as songwriters and producers helped solidify their legacy in the music industry.
My woman takes me higher. My woman keeps me warm. What you doing on your back?
1990s, continued success and tragedy. The 1990s saw a resurgence in the Bee Gees' popularity, thanks in part to the rediscovery of their older hits. In 1997, tragedy struck the Gibb family when Maurice Gibb passed away unexpectedly from a heart attack at the age of 53. His death marked a profound loss for the Bee Gees, as Maurice was an integral member of the group. Despite the devastating loss, Barry and Robin continued to perform and release music, although they were now without their beloved brother. The Bee Gees' contributions to music continued to be recognized, and they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. That same year, their album One Night Only, recorded during a concert at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, was released.
Dancing, yeah, dancing, yeah. My baby moves at midnight.
2000s, legacy and final years. After Maurice's death, the Bee Gees essentially stopped performing as a trio. Barry and Robin occasionally worked together on new music, but the dynamic of the group was forever changed. In 2001, the Bee Gees were awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award for their vast contributions to music. Tragically, in 2012, Robin Gibb also passed away after a long battle with cancer. He was 62 years old. Following his death, Barry Gibb became the last surviving member of the Bee Gees. Legacy. The Bee Gees left an indelible mark on music, influencing countless artists across various genres. They sold over 220 million records worldwide and are one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Their unique harmonies, catchy melodies, and groundbreaking work during the disco era continue to resonate with music fans around the globe. The Bee Gees' music was characterized by lush harmonies, catchy melodies, and an ability to adapt to changing trends, which made them one of the most versatile acts in pop history. They are widely regarded as pioneers of disco and a major influence on popular music. Their music continues to be celebrated in various media, and their legacy lives on through their timeless songs. Key albums: Bee Gees 1st, 1967. Main Course, 1975. Saturday Night Fever, 1977. Spirits Having Flown, 1979. Living Eyes, 1981. One Night Only, 1997. The Bee Gees remain icons in the history of popular music, known for their distinctive sound and unmatched contribution to the global music landscape.
Every time I look at you, I still can't feel the glow. Let it be, let it grow.